My viewers, how's it going? This is Psycho Yiko back here on YouTube. I just want to say that since election night, everything sure has been dynamic. What else is there to start the video with? So, Donald Trump has officially gotten a victory with not only the popular vote, but also the electoral vote. Now, I'm going to clear up some confusion because some people seem to be confused about the difference between the popular vote and the electoral vote. First off, the popular vote is based on how many people in the country itself vote for a particular candidate, whether if it's Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. And the electoral votes is based on the Electoral College, based on how many representatives each individual state has. For example, Pennsylvania has about 19 representatives, yes? If Trump won Pennsylvania, he would have gotten 19 electoral votes, about that range, or if Kamala won, she would have gotten 19 electoral votes. I'm going to share with you a screen about this, the final vote results. 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump and 226 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. Based on the popular vote, Trump has gotten 50%, and based on the popular vote, Kamala Harris has gotten 48.4%. That's to clarify everything. So, let's keep talking. And after all this, so many of us are shaking our heads in disbelief over some of Trump's picks for his cabinet, as well as feelings of thrill, and in other cases, maybe even excitement. Personally, I don't know much about every single one of the members of his cabinet, because there are people who Trump have picked for his cabinet. At first, it was going to be Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, but then there were some allegations about him regarding pedophilia and sexual abuse, and he resigned. And so, chances are, Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is going to be the Attorney General. She's from the Sunshine State. That's Florida, from the Sunshine State. And DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, going to be managed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, members of DOGE. And the border czar is going to be Tom Homan, a no-nonsense guy. That's what we know so far. And for the UN ambassador, Donald Trump has picked Elise Stefanik. Elise Stefanik, she's a no-nonsense woman. What I do like about Elise Stefanik, I'm going to provide you some context. So after Hamas struck against Israel in October of last year, around that time frame, Claudine Gay of Harvard was questioned about the code of conduct. Claudine responds by saying that it depends on the context. So Elise asked Claudine whether if calling for the genocide of Jews violated the conduct code or code of conduct on Harvard, and Claudine responds by saying that it all depends on the context. I'm going to share with you the clip.
And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment, yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic.
That's fine, Jay. You don't have to join if you don't want to.
Rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
And there you have it, folks. I gotta say, I really do like the way that Elise Stefanik lambasted Claudine. She handled it in the way that she was supposed to. That I'm proud of. Hey, Brick, how's it doing, man? How have you been? And my first impression of Tom Homan is that he's a really big, no-nonsense border czar. No-nonsense border czar. Hey, gotta say, me personally, I think that's what we need at this point. You know, tough laws on immigration, and I think that Tom Homan is going to be the perfect choice for it. But yeah, you have Tom Homan as border czar, Elise Stefanik as UN ambassador, Department of Government Efficiency being managed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I did talk with Leon about this, and he personally does not like Vivek Ramaswamy at all. And we do have Pam Bondi being picked as Attorney General from the state of Florida. Now, what else is new? With reactions to it, social media posts are encouraging family members to disown anyone who has shown support for Donald Trump. Way to start Thanksgiving, all right? Thanksgiving is right around the corner, a time to enjoy a delicious feast with your family and be thankful for all that you have, especially here in this day and age. A time to enjoy a delicious poultry with mashed spuds and turkey gravy, lots of gravy. My parents, they make the best homemade mashed spuds. No, I'm not trying to brag here, but I really like them. I mean, good way to start Thanksgiving. But for some, Trump's win has encouraged people to display senses of divisiveness towards people who have voted for the polar opposite of Democrat. I'm going to share with you guys a post from this loose parts user here on Twitter. He says, quote unquote, "My elderly neighbor is a MAGA," meaning that he supports Trump. "And up until now, we have spent a lot of time together, dinners, coffee in the morning, and beer at night. I just declined his offer to get together for Thanksgiving. He looked sad, but so did I. I am sad that he voted for hate." Now, this is okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to show divisiveness or resentment towards people who vote for the polar opposite of the party who you're supporting. In this case, if people like this who are anti-Trump show disdain or resentment for people who do like Trump, that's okay. You can totally do that. But yeah, that's how people are acting in this day and age. Petulant children, can't put aside your differences. Exactly. I mean, if someone voted for Trump, whoop-de-doo. It's not the end of the world, all right? Besides, Trump's only got 4 more years. Look at it on the bright side. He's got 4 more years in office. If his 4 years are up, they're up, you know? You won't have to worry about the big bad orange man anymore, all right? But yeah, back to saying. And what else is new? Now, Whoopi Goldberg from The View has been under fire for claims of a bakery refusing to serve her baked confections over her political views. While she didn't explicitly state what bakery it was in her defense, the hint she did give was that it was over a faulty oven. I'm going to roll that clip. Let's go.
Leanings. And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes,
What?
exactly.
Oh,
They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
But the bakery is firing.
And there you have it. People are upset by it. The bakery is upset by it too. It caused a lot of traction, a lot of divisiveness, a lot of anger, sadness. I'm going to share with you the response. So this is from the Staten Island bakery, who Whoopi Goldberg may have implied that refused to give her baked goods or couldn't over the faulty oven. This is what they had to say.
Saying like, we are the American story. These bakers wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. This was a family business. They worked their whole lives to keep going. The boiler was 6.
Hang on. But there you have it, guys. So, and we just heard about Ellen's unfortunate departure from the United States to the United Kingdom. I'm mostly independent, but I respect views. Okay, Fair enough. Me too. I have views from both sides, mostly the right, but I am independent. Very good for you. Now, my thing is, Ellen DeGeneres has apparently moved to Great Britain after all of these have unfolded. I want to tell you a little bit about Whoopi Goldberg. I will say, Whoopi Goldberg has kind of faded into irrelevance. The View has been filled with controversy. You even had Mark Cuban, who went forth and saying that Trump does not get support from intelligent women, and that he's afraid to surround himself with intelligent women. That caused traction and everything. And what I find really hypocritical is the fact that Mark Cuban said that Donald Trump does not surround himself with intelligent women, and yet here you had Kamala Harris literally having Cardi B endorse her. Yes, Cardi B, known for that famous or rather infamous rap song, Wet Ass Pussy. Not kidding, that was Cardi B's song. The rapper who made that song, Cardi B, who Kamala Harris let her support her. And Ellen DeGeneres has moved to Great Britain. But the thing about Whoopi Goldberg, I do remember her when she made a few appearances on Sesame Street here and there. She was entertaining at times, yeah, but it seems that over the years, she seems to have faded into irrelevance. Same thing with Ellen DeGeneres, who has moved to Great Britain. The independent.co.uk has even talked about this too, saying that she is in the Cotswolds region where she and De Rossi have already embraced the new community. I'm going to share with you an excerpt talking about this and confirming this. This is from the Independent. On November 21st, People confirmed that Ellen DeGeneres had officially moved to England's celeb-loved Cotswolds region, where she and De Rossi have already embraced their new community. But yeah, it seems like that since election night, things have been up and down, some for the positive, some for the negative. Me personally, I do think that the UN ambassador, Elise Stefanik, was a good choice, and Tom Homan. But what do I know? Tom Homan seems like a no-nonsense guy. I think all that need that at once every so now and then. We need more no-nonsense people. It's desperately needed. And what else? This is the part where I'm going to let people join in if they like to share what they have to say. I'm going to see if anyone is available. Are any of you guys in the chat right now? Any of you guys who want to share your views or whatever and talk about this? I can share it with you guys via private Facebook, but I can't, share it in the public chat because I don't want people porn bombing or swatting. It's not okay. And doxing. You can join. I'll see if I can send you a link via Discord, Brick. Or Chicken Snake. Brick? Yeah, Brick. I'm going to share it with you via Discord. Hang on a moment. I think I do have you via Discord. I just got to see if I can find you. There, I sent it to you via Discord. You're free to join if you like. I want to see if there's anyone in the Crow Templars who would like to join and share their views about this kind of stuff. I'm just waiting for Brick to join. You're not into politics, but I respect people's views. Okay, fair enough. Is there anything you would like to add as you join the stream? Would you like to join the stream anyway? Talk about something or one or the other? Anything that you might find that you can talk about? Hey, Brick, I sent it to you via Discord. You should be able to get it from there. Hey, Brick, how you been, man?
Hey, what's up?
Has there been any sort of event that has kind of baffled you ever since election night? Anything that you talk about?
Well, all I gotta say is some of the people that are taking this far too seriously and leaving, honestly, good riddance. We don't need some of these people.
Yeah. Now, I was talking, Ellen DeGeneres was funny for a while. I mean, for a while, yeah. I do remember when she did the voice of Dory in Finding Nemo, an all-time classic that I grew up with as a kid, but somehow she just faded into irrelevance, and who knows? I guess it just happens with a lot of these Hollywood celebrities. Their stars burn out, their lives have turned to hell, they're not relevant anymore. It happens. And there was even a time where she let Steve Carell appear on her show where he did an IRL portrayal of Gru from the Despicable Me movies. I'm going to show you a clip.
Okay,
Remember
well, they both I used to respect like both Ellen and Whoopi. I both thought they were really good people. They just gone way too far off nowadays.
Yeah. I'm going to share with you the clip.
Hello, everybody!
That's Steve Carell as Gru.
I think this
Yep.
is we've never met before.
I do believe it is, yes.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Although one time I stood behind you in the Starbucks.
is that right?
Yes, you ordered the latte.
That was me. You remember. Well, it's good to have you here. And what?
It's so good to be here. I've never been on television.
Oh, this is your first time on television.
What a great crowd.
Yeah. What is that accent? I'm trying to figure out where you're from.
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, you get the drift. Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They had him play the character in real life. I mean, it sounds similar to his voice on The Office. I know that because I later watched The Office after seeing Despicable Me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Michael Scott. Yeah.
And the thing
The
about
first
Whoopi
thing I
Goldberg,
remember from The Office was that one clip where he shouted, "No God, no God, please no."
I remember
You know?
that. Yes,
That's the first thing I remember from The Office. I haven't got that far into the show though, watching it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't really gotten much into watching it personally myself too, but yeah, I even do remember when Whoopi Goldberg actually made an appearance too. She did the voice of the talking baseball bat in that CGI movie called Everyone's Hero. The talking baseball bat, her name was Darlin, and she was voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. And I also do remember Whoopi Goldberg from the 2002 Christmas movie, the Very Merry Muppets Christmas movie. Joanne Cusack was in that too. She played the antagonist. But yeah.
Yep. One thing I did respect, one thing when I used to like about Whoopi Goldberg, I remember on the Tom and Jerry DVD, she introduced the cartoons, and I thought she was like pretty nice. But now knowing her on The View, like she's just gone way too far off and crazy. It's like The View sucks. Like I remember watching someone I knew did a rant on The View, and I wish that rant was still up because I mean I wish they talked about other things that wasn't politics, you know, especially since the show. I'm sure the person who created the show, she probably would be ashamed of what it is now if she were still alive.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And my thing is this: the fact that Whoopi Goldberg, in her defense, she didn't explicitly state the name of the bakery, but I'm sure that if you put two and two together, there could be some hints that she was referring to that particular Staten Island bakery because they did have problems with the oven not working. You know
Speaking of New York, if I go there again, I've yet to visit Staten Island and Brooklyn, but I've seen them and New Jersey from the buildings at least. But yeah, I've yet to because the only other area is possibly Queens, which was near the airport at least. But yeah, but honestly, it's not that hard to figure out because The View is filmed in New York, and so you got to figure out which bakery. It wouldn't be that far. It wouldn't be that much to figure out.
Yeah, right. And I'm trying to see who is going to be joining my stream. You know, I tried sending it to the prison chat, people on Instagram, and everything. Hopefully,
I can add you on my group, and you can send it there too.
Oh yeah, please do. See if there's anyone there who might want to join. You know.
All right, I'll add you after the stream, but not right now, not currently, but I'll add you later.
Oh, okay. Now I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. Not at the moment though. It's going to be a little difficult because I don't want to have to disconnect myself on accident because I'm using my phone.
Right. Now, what else is there to talk about?
Well, this
Oh.
is kind of like a partial 2024, what's been going on since November 5th or something, I think.
Yeah. I just can't believe that some people actually think or will consider going as far as to cut all ties with them just for voting for the polar opposite of Democrat. It just seems
Just respect the views, respect people's views. Like my grandma and others still respect me, even though I don't have the same views as them. I mean, they know dang well I don't like the governor of my state, for example, and he's Democrat, but they respect my views.
I will admit, when I was in high school, I did go through this weird phase of I admit, back in the day, I did have a case of Trump derangement syndrome, even in the election for 2020.
Oh, I sure did too. Back in 2016, when I was in 8th grade, when he got elected, I had Trump derangement syndrome too. I believed all the crap, like, oh, he's this, oh, he's that, without ever doing research. I used to think he was a racist and he hated all immigrants because he was just talking about illegals and such.
Yeah, right, exactly. He was only talking about illegals, bud. You know, nothing wrong with requiring proper documentation.
I think my teachers back in 8th grade, especially my history teacher I liked, that got me into history, he tried to talk some sense. I think he has a point, like, about Trump, I think.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that there might have been a method to his madness that even I just probably wasn't aware of, you know? Man, he's had
it's like, do your research, guys. If you hear this and you're not sure if it's true or not, do your research. Say this all the time, but for a good reason.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you hear about Kamala Harris? She skipped the Al Smith dinner.
I never heard about that, but I did hear. I did see that infamous picture of her hanging out and getting drunk after the election.
Oh, you saw that too?
Yeah, of her and her family members, her nieces.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one who saw that, but darn. But yeah, she skipped the Al Smith dinner. From what I hear, there was also another candidate who also skipped the Al Smith dinner. From what I know, I think she was like the second person to do it so far.
Oh yeah, that's the political dinner. Well, the good thing is, I'm glad because I heard some rumors that they were going to force Biden to step down and make Harris be president for a bit. Thank goodness that's not happening, though. They're not going to make Biden step down.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they did make him step down because from
the election, from running, but they thought there were some rumors that he was going to step down as president.
Yeah, right. But yeah, she skipped the Al Smith dinner, and so did Ronald Reagan's political opponent. It was Walter Mondale in the election of 1984.
Oh yeah, back then, because I doubt he's still alive. Now.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it was Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale skipped the Al Smith dinner, and so did Kamala Harris. And get this, Walter Mondale, he lost by a huge, significant landslide. Do you know how?
Oh yeah, only his home state won in 1984.
And the District of Columbia.
Yeah, and DC, but DC's not a state, so you wouldn't count that.
Yeah, but I think DC at the time it counted like 3 electoral votes.
Yeah.
And in Minnesota, there's 10 electoral votes you win if you manage to win Minnesota. Did you know how many electoral votes are required to win presidency?
270.
That's right, 270. But Ronald Reagan, he got more than the amount required. He got 454 electoral votes.
That's the most a president's ever gotten in the Electoral College history.
Yeah. But I'm just sitting there scratching my head wondering, how did it get so bad for Walter Mondale?
He was probably the worst performed, even worse than Harris, because Harris didn't even do that bad. She got 200 votes, but of course Trump still got way over 270.
Yeah. But she's in a lot of debt too. She spent like at least
20 million, I think.
$1 billion. She's 20 million in debt.
Yeah, 20 million in debt. She spent $1 billion, like you said.
Yeah. But do you see what happens when you have all these countless celebrity endorsements?
Endorsements? Yeah.
And there was a time where she went on Oprah Winfrey. She had this interview.
Had an interview with Oprah Winfrey, right?
Yeah. And all she could provide was a word salad. And she was talking about helping private businesses.
That's all she did in interviews. Like, just randomly saying words like, oh, I did this, I did that, instead of actually explaining the true reason.
Yeah, there was this thing where she talked about being in a middle-class family, and there you had this couple called Rachel and Garrett who already own a home. They were talking about how expensive their mortgage prices were. She was talking about $25,000 of mortgage assistance.
That's all she was doing. This is all she was doing.
Yeah, but that didn't apply to Rachel and Garrett because they already owned a home. And the small business proposition.
Yeah, they're talking about. She was trying to talk about small business owners, but she kept going on and on about up and down and about this, that, all that.
Yeah, but the problem was that it didn't apply to this couple either because Rachel worked at a nonprofit, from what I hear, and Garrett is an insurance underwriter. So,
honestly, I'm glad she didn't get elected because I knew for a fact that the wars would only get worse because I know as vice president she wasn't a good negotiator. She wasn't a good border czar. We had so many illegals come in, and a lot of innocent people got hurt and killed. That's just awful.
Yeah, that's true. She tried to get into the primaries in 2019, from what I hear, and Tulsi Gabbard ripped her a new one.
Oh yes, and she's now part of Trump's team now.
Yeah. Isn't she like Green Party or third party, Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, she was Democrat, but she later became a Republican. She became part of Trump's team, Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy to think how even she rips Kamala Harris a new one.
Yep. And if it weren't for her endorsement of Trump and also the people who got affected by her, who got falsely imprisoned by her supporting Trump, that probably helped him win.
Yeah, right. I'm starting to think that theoretically, if Kamala Harris probably attended the Al Smith dinner, who knows how many more electoral votes she would have gotten at the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm. If she would have went to the dinner right before election, yeah, when it happened, yeah. But all I can say is what I'm trying to think of something here honestly, I think things are getting better with Trump because one thing I could mention is gas prices gone down 20 cents in my town alone. I know because I've been driving around the area and gas prices have been getting pretty lower. That's good. It was like $2.60 or $2.70, but now it's in $2.40s. Most gas stations just near closer to my area, it's a lot cheaper at least. So I think they're going to kind of control it a little bit. So I've heard about the possibility of something with gas prices, but I'm just saying they might be able to control it a lot better than the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I started to notice that there may have been some inconsistencies in Kamala Harris's campaign. There's times where she says that she wasn't for fracking, but then she is for fracking, and
she flip-flopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she didn't know how to change a way. She can't keep on one subject and others like that. Not to mention having all these celebrities like Eminem, Oprah, and all those other like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all those other celebrities endorsing her. Yeah, it didn't help at all because she probably had to pay them just to support her.
Yeah. T.G. Venom once talked about Megan Thee Stallion. He said that Megan Thee Stallion is not bad per se. Her freestyling is good, but I think it's just the songs itself that she needs to work on,
It's just the problem I have with her. She works with Cardi B and such, but she's not untalented, I guess.
Did you know Cardi B is a self-admitted kleptomaniac?
Oh yeah, I've also know that Cardi B, she drugged men and robbed them. It's like this is a person exactly. Biden and Harris have talked to and interviewed with that they think is a good representation of certain things. No, she's not. She's a terrible person.
Yeah, there was even that one video that I have saved in my social media. I've either bookmarked it or dropped a like on it, but she was going on this tangent, talking so bad. It's so horrible that you could have sworn it would belong on an X-rated website, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I remember that campaign where people only came from the conscious, like Megan Thee Stallion and such. Nobody came. That's how terrible the rallies were. Nobody wanted to go see her speech. They just wanted to see the celebrities and such perform. That's it.
I will say, Eminem did have talent. He does have talent, sure. But
yeah, I liked Eminem's music. Thing is, I don't know if he truly. I know he does support Trump, but I don't know if he truly supported Harris. I was thinking some of these celebrities, even the ones who did, probably got paid a good amount of money to be there. I know because how else would Harris get them there? She couldn't just ask saying, "Hey, can you come over to my rally?" Yeah. She'd have to do something to get them over there.
And my thing is this: I might have seen a video where Eminem was talking down about Elon Musk about how he's part of the elites, but isn't Eminem a part of the elites too? That's the ironic part.
Yeah, I liked his older music better when he was fighting against like censorship and all that other stuff. But the thing is, he supported the same candidate that the people he attacked, the Sheenies, support.
Yeah, right. And my thing is too, Eminem, I do remember one rap song from Eminem in the early 2000s. It was called "We as Americans," which has a very a very blatant message about being pro Second Amendment. And yet he's
it's a very
supporting
patriotic song.
Right, exactly. It could be considered conservative too, being having more Second Amendment rights, which Eminem's shown support for by writing that song "We as Americans," and at the same time he's supporting a party that doesn't seem to be all about Second Amendments and tends to have more limits when it comes to owning guns.
Yeah, I think he has a problem with some of the shootings, but I just disagree with Eminem and a lot of people that, gun control is going to stop these shootings. Like, no, they won't, because they're going to find other ways, and they'll probably break a lot of gun control laws that ain't going to be enforced properly.
Yeah, I mean, don't act like that there aren't any Tor browsers where someone could just create an account, be in the dark web as much as they want, and purchase guns in the black market without any repercussions until the worst comes.
I mean, speaking of Trump, one thing I do agree with, and I'm happy is happening now that he's elected, a lot more people are going to be freed from federal prison that I know Biden and Harris would never do if they were still in office. Like, speaking of like that one person I mentioned, I'll mention Ross. He created dark web websites, and he didn't really sell drugs, but he had a website where other people did. But he never actually killed anybody, but he still got a very strict and harsh prison sentence. And Trump did say he would commute the sentence to time served.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy about that. The war's ending. We might get world peace. I mean, hey, it's not perfect. I understand Trump's not the best politician ever. I get it. You don't have to fully agree with every one of his policies. But that's why I always say to do your research, because it's very important. You can still support him even if you don't agree with him fully or don't agree with some of his policies.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I don't know how long that it's going to continue, but again, you have to look on the bright side. Even if Trump won, he's only got 4 more years. After that, you can.
Yeah, this is the second non-consecutive term. He's the first president since Grover Cleveland to be elected to 2 separate terms, not together.
Right. Yeah. But he's got 4 more years. This is his last term. After that, he's done.
People like my grandma, for example, who supported Harris, she's just worried about the tariffs and such. I'm kind of worried about that with Trump, too. But I know there might be some way to combat this without too much spending like Biden did.
Right. Yeah. Excessive spending. You know, call me unorthodox, but I'd say putting this country first is something that we really need to focus on. No.
Yeah, I know. I know for a fact. Like when Trump won, I found this flag. I'll be waving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right here. And in fact, I got a flag right over there, right next to my beer bottle collection and beer can collection.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's also been some speculations too about some FEMA agents, blatantly denying emergency services to people.
Yeah, that was one. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, that was one person that said, we at FEMA, we're not going to support the people. We're not going to help the people who are Trump supporters. It's like they fired that person who did that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because they should still support anybody who's American, regardless of who you support.
Yeah. And Bill Clinton, who was supposed to support Kamala Harris, he explicitly stated that this whole thing with that one girl, I forgot what her name was, the one who was murdered against that unvetted
Laken Riley. He was the one that killed by an illegal immigrant. Yeah, one of the victims, yes.
Yeah, Laken Riley. He said something along the lines of this never coming to it if the immigrant had been vetted. And he explicitly stated that.
Yep, and even though my people who are Democrat, my family, like my dad, for example, he supported Clinton because he was one of the few presidents who helped lower the debt. That's a good thing. The only problem is he passed some pretty terrible laws, like the '94 crime bill, for example, which Trump did call out Biden for, and Trump's willing to reverse that by helping free certain people who got screwed over by the justice system.
And this is from and this might be from anti-Western news sources too, but some people seem to have a problem with Bill Clinton poking his nose where it doesn't belong, sending mortar shells into Yugoslavia at the final years of the Soviet Union's mere existence.
People could talk about how Trump got impeached before, but here's the thing: that was a big thing when Clinton got impeached over cheating. Though that lowered his approval rating to the point where if he would have ran again, just like George Bush, both of them would have not gotten a third term.
Oh yeah, I heard about Bill Clinton cheating too. I think it was Monica Lewinsky.
Yes, that's the person cheating on with.
Yeah. Having sex with Monica Lewinsky against, breaking vows, having sex with a woman who you didn't agree, who you don't share that special bond with. I mean, you cannot get any worse than that.
Yeah, and like they were both married, and Hillary was already the first lady. I'm sure they both forgiven each other, but yeah, that's just. I know that's one reason why my mom, even if she would have went, my mom said she would have voted for Hillary Clinton if she would have, divorced Bill Clinton after that. That's one reason a lot of people didn't vote for Hillary, at least.
Oh, my mother, she talked about supporting Hillary Clinton for a while. But until she made that whole statement, the basket of deplorables statement, that was what made her lose respect for Hillary.
Oh, one reason I would have never supported Hillary was her views on video games. I know Trump has some views on video games, is not a video game person, but at least he doesn't go after them as far as Hillary did.
Yeah. Oh, wait, she went far as video games?
Like, there was that Family Entertainment Protection Act she tried to pass when she was a senator.
All right.
She authored that bill, I think. It would what it would do is that if someone tried to sell a clerk, like they tried to get the clerk in trouble for selling a game to the minor, and really it's not the kid's fault. It'd be the parents' fault for buying the game or giving it to the kids. They're trying to punish the parent or the clerk.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a stupid law.
It is a stupid law.
Thank goodness it never got passed.
In fact, if you go to a game shop, I'm pretty sure that if you were a minor, if you want to purchase an M-rated game, you'd have to.
Yeah, like when I got GTA 5, for example, when I got a new copy because my old copy was screwing up for the Xbox, I got a new copy for a PlayStation 3. And when I was there with Mom, and Mom had to be there to buy it because obviously the person knew I was underage.
Right, exactly. Some GameStops or game stores have.
I mean, that's the employee's fault. I mean, the employee shouldn't get arrested or go to prison or jail for it. He should just get fired.
No. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Thank goodness that law did not pass. I mean, like I said, Trump has some extreme views on video games, but at least he doesn't go as far as to make a law or try to take people's games away.
Yeah. Well, what can you say? He's been a former businessman. Tough, yes. Shrewd, maybe. Definitely a straight shooter, but these whole reduction to Hitlers or playing the whole Nazi card,
Yeah, they need to stop comparing him to Hitler. Even actual Holocaust survivors say that that's the worst thing Harris or anybody can say about him because that's not true.
Right. But I mean, think about it. How many people do you think are going to support you if you keep on going by the exact?
It's not like Trump would put illegals in camps like that. Like he would never do that. He just deports them.
Yeah. Important. And did you see what happened? I mean, I start to realize the numbers I've shown that Trump not only won the Electoral College, but also the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
And you put the two and two together, and you see all these celebrity endorsements regurgitating the exact same playbook that they've been going by in 2016. Trump's a racist. Trump's a Nazi. Even Oprah.
Yeah, they said the same things for 8 years. Oh, he's a threat to democracy. He's this. He's that. How is he a threat?
Yeah, I mean, he's had 4 years.
He actually tries to enforce the law, and he actually does. They still blaming him for that insurrection like 3 years ago, and it's not even his fault. He tried his best. That was up to the police and the Speaker of the House to do something like that. And they didn't do anything.
Yeah, but yeah, it was an insurrection. I'm not denying that, but
Trump's just not 100% responsible. It's not really his fault. He tried his best, but it's just that's up to other people. Like I said, Speaker of the House, the police force.
Mm-hmm.
Because that riot, I mean, they were going to do whatever happened. Doesn't matter what Trump would say. They were going to do it regardless over that loss.
Yeah, because you do have hardcore Trump supporters, those QAnon wackadoodles, and I don't claim to be one of them. I don't claim them either, but yeah.
Some of the bad supporters were in the group and did that right, like the people of the Proud Boys and others.
I thought the most ridiculous guy was all the one with the face paint, the red, white, and blue. He was dressed like the shaman. He was all shirtless. That was stupid.
Yeah, a lot of those supporters, although they're going to all be pardoned, I don't think anybody would defend their actions.
But yeah, Trump is pardoning them, or the administration?
Yeah, he's going to pardon not just them, he's going to pardon Ross, the guy that got that long sentence for doing a site that sold drugs and everything else. At least that's one thing I do like about him. The First Step Act he passed will help free more people who are unjustly wronged or wrongfully convicted of a harsher sentence by the federal prison system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And gosh darn it. This is a crazy world we live in. I say it's a crazy world, you know.
But yeah, all I gotta say is those celebrities that want to leave because they're rich and some, hey, they can do whatever they want. But the thing is, we don't need them. We're better off without them. They're not contributing anything of value to our country.
And another thing I like to point out too, there was a video where Barack Obama was scolding members of the black community for not endorsing Kamala Harris. Didn't you hear about that?
Yeah, that was pretty wrong of Obama on his standards to do, and that definitely helped Trump win because he knew most Black Americans, they do not support Harris because Harris has done terrible for the Black community. Like ever since when she was a prosecutor in San Francisco and Attorney General of California, she's done terrible for the Black community. Lots of innocent Black people were locked up in prison because of her actions.
Right, and there was a part where he was gaslighting them, saying that they probably just aren't used to seeing a woman run things. No, that's not true.
No, they're not sexist. We're not sexist. We just don't think Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris are good candidates for president.
You know, as a matter of fact, since I mentioned that too, I was watching a live stream from the African Diaspora News Channel. Shout out to Philip Scott from African Diaspora News Channel. He stated this. He stated that from their logic, though, however, Blacks have not been put in a position where they can systemically oppress a woman or be misogynistic. So from that logic, how is it that Black men are misogynistic and hate Kamala Harris for the fact that she's a woman?
That's a very bold claim to make. And speaking of Trump, people like my grandma and others, like especially mainly Democrats, like not saying all of them are like this, but some of them blame Trump for, having kids be separated from their illegal parents and American citizens be put into those centers and their legal parents get deported back. That wasn't Trump's doing. He didn't start that. That was something that happened with Obama when he was president. I'm surprised that they don't try to blame Obama because, here's the thing. So even if you do like or support Obama, you can still call him out on some of the bad things he's done. Just like if you supported Clinton or any other president, you can still call him out on some of the bad things they've done.
Yeah, exactly. And I was also watching this too. I mean, some comedian, as we all know, Donald Trump, he had that big, massive rally in New York City, Madison Square Garden. There's
a lot of silent majority in California and New York. Even though they're both blue states, a lot of them did vote Trump. If you see the map, that's not all the blue and red, at least.
It was going to be a close one. I mean, the way I see it, if Trump wanted to become president, he was going to have to do really good in the Rust Belt, like Minnesota, 10,000 Lakes, the Badger State, which is Wisconsin, Wolverine State, which is Michigan.
Oh yeah, all those swing states.
Those
and not to mention, I support Trump, but even I can call him out and know he's not perfect, and he does done some stupid things. And just like most politicians, they do lie without realizing it. I will admit that. Like I don't like ride him on every little thing. I don't agree with everything, at least.
Mm-hmm. And this thing that I was saying, Madison Square Garden. I'm sorry?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden, a big rally. People even went as far as to compare that to a Nazi rally. And
yeah, they did that because of the comedian saying something about Puerto Rico, which was just, it's just a joke though, but I wouldn't get offended by it considering I love Puerto Rico. They just, It's just people took that joke way too seriously. I will agree it is a bit tasteless, and even Trump disowned that. But they just took it way too seriously and took it way too far out of proportion.
Right. You even missed the bigger picture. Trump disowned the comedian. He said it in an interview that
he said if he knew how bad it was, he wouldn't have got him on there. Speaking of which, speaking of New York, that's one place I would like to go to, other than all those other areas I mentioned. I would go to Madison Square Garden too. I also want to explore more of Times Square and possibly go to that one spot. There's a Hershey's place you can make a big Reese's giant cup. I want to see. That's not related to this, but that's something I want to do in New York. Anyway, sorry to go off topic.
Yeah, my coworker got married too, and when he got married.
Cool.
And his other half, his wife, went on a trip to Hershey Park for their honeymoon.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, and like Hershey, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I want to go to Pennsylvania one day. That sounds like a state I'd go to.
Yeah, but didn't you hear who was also at Madison Square Garden? Dr. Phil endorsed Trump.
Oh yeah, Dr. Phil and Elon Musk and Hulk Hogan. They're the celebrities that supported Trump and were at the rallies.
Philip McGraw. I think the where I draw the line, Kamala Harris had to constantly use celebrity endorsements, but the way I see it, I don't think Trump really.
Yeah, Trump didn't pay those people to go there, especially Hulk Hogan, and not to mention all those podcast appearances. He didn't pay anybody to go on the podcast. Like his youngest son helped with some of those appearances.
Yeah, and this one thing that I also heard about too, there seems to be a fine line that some particular political supporters don't seem to draw the line. There's a thing called delineation, whereas if one of Trump's supporters says something bad about Puerto Rico being an island of garbage, some people seem to take offense to that and seem to imply that this.
Yeah, I tried to tell some people. I agree it's a tasteless joke, but you shouldn't be offended or take that joke way too seriously. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Puerto Rico. I've been there before. I love the people. I love the culture. It's awesome there.
Yeah. But the thing is, there seems to be a fine line that has to be drawn. There's a thing called delineation, whereas one particular supporter, I'll give an example. A particular supporter of Donald Trump says something bad about Puerto Rico being an island of garbage, tasteless, yes. And one candidate from the other side happens to take offense to that and seems to imply that this comedian was referring to every single Hispanic. No, that's not the way it works.
Oh, don't forget this. This is also before the election, but don't forget, Biden also, I don't know if this was taken out of context, but I've heard something about him calling Trump supportors garbage, and this made Trump actually go to a rally in a garbage truck to fight to bounce back.
But yeah, delineation. Like, for example, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, they're not the same. They might have the similar race, or they might speak.
They're both Hispanic, but they're not exactly the same, because Puerto Ricans are Americans. It's a U.S. territory, but Mexico is a whole lot different culture.
Yeah, exactly. And there are actually some Mexican supporters who actually are conservative. Want to tell you why? Because
a lot of Hispanics support Trump. Mexicans, Americans, for example, yes.
Yeah, because the funny thing is that they seem to have a very more religious upbringing. Christian, God first, love thy neighbor, love thy country, and that just seems to be like a very conservative kind of thing in that particular category.
Oh, yes. Plenty of churches and Christianity-related stuff in Mexico, because if you go there for Christmas, there's a lot of statues of Jesus. They do talk about the Jesus-related stuff about Christmas, and there's a lot of shrines and such in Mexico, especially in churches. Churches are a major thing to go in Mexico during Christmas, for example.
Mm-hmm. I was raised Roman Catholic. From what I hear, I think Trump may have been raised Protestant, but that's beside the point.
I mean, I was raised Christian. I went to church, but I do believe in Jesus. I'm just not religious anymore. I just don't practice it that much. But I used to go to church many times. I just thought it was kind of boring to me. Like, I did like the people. I just didn't like going. That's just the problem. So I don't go anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. But this thing I was saying about delineation, like, there might be Hispanics, but not all of them are the same. Like, for example, you have Puerto Rico, you have Mexico, you have Peru, the Peruvians.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Peru.
The Cubans, they're not the same.
Cuba.
Nicaraguans are not the same.
Nicaragua.
The Venezuelans and the Guatemalans, and the Argentinians, they're not all the same. That's all part of delineation.
Yeah, they're all completely different countries, but they're all part of Latin America.
Yeah. But delineation is crucial because it not only does it help you identify who you are, like country-wise or culture-wise, but it also, from what I hear, may also play a crucial feature in looking out for the affairs of your own group. Like, for example, people in Europe, they delineate. You have the Germanics, you have the Slavs, you have the Romans. There's all part of delineation. And among the Germanics, you have people from Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland. And then the Slavs, you have the Poles, the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Bulgarians. That's all part of delineation. And the Asians, they've delineated. There's the Chinese, the Japanese, the Vietnamese.
Yeah, there's different nationalities that's also considered the same continent, same race, like, different about the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's delineation. And blacks are definitely delineated too. Let me give you the Tanzanians, the South Africans, the Zimbabweans, all part of delineation.
Yeah, like that's part of delineation because Africa and Latin America, they all have completely different countries, completely different cultures, but the same languages or similar things, all of that.
Yeah. Might be some similarities, but it doesn't mean the same.
Yeah,
Again,
not completely.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Thanksgiving?
Hell yeah. I'm so happy for Thanksgiving. I've been excited for it ever since the recent events. I've been so excited for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. Like, I'm going to be hanging out with my parents, and the good thing is it's just me and them. Nobody else is going to be here. I'm talking about non-family members. Nobody that isn't a family member will be here tomorrow, which is good. Just me and my parents.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to Christmas, too. That's also something I'm looking forward to.
And they already started playing Christmas music recently. So I've been listening to it recently. When I've been like yesterday when I've been bored. So luckily, since it's almost Thanksgiving, perfect time to start listening to Christmas music.
Right. Yeah. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, I've talked with some people in my private chat about doing a premiere of Home Alone. I hope you'll be looking forward to watching it.
Oh sure, if we're maybe sometime Friday or so, if we're not busy, I'll be able to hang out on your server and just hang out. We'll just watch some movies. You could try. I don't know if you could stream the movie on Discord, like, because you could do it on the voice chat. I've streamed video games before.
Yeah, right.
But my capture card for some reason doesn't work anymore, so I'm not able to do this.
I'm just gonna say, hypothetical question. What is one thing that you're thankful for, or one of the things you're thankful for, since tomorrow's Thanksgiving?
I'm thankful. I'm just thankful for just being here. I'm thankful for everyone that still supported me. I'm thankful I'm still part of my group. I'm I'm very happy and thankful that I can at least be able to I'm able to drive. I've helped with my parents, all that. I've helped my parents with cooking, everything. That's many things I can mention beside food.
Yeah, I'm sure there's many other things I can mention besides food. The fact that I'm thankful for, but I think it might also have to be with the fact that I'm still alive. I'm looking forward to what the rest.
My birthday is in a month before Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll have to wish you a happy early birthday then. How old are you turning?
22.
Cool. You're definitely over the age where you can drink,
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot. If you watch my streams, I've been doing lots of beer chugs in honor of another guy who does beer chugs, Steve, the Weedesy 96. In fact, I collected a lot of beers over the past year, just beer cans and beer bottles over the last year. Since I've been drinking, I have you can see right here some Miller High Life, Busch, Hams, Bud Ice, Keystone, bunch of that. You can hardly see it, but I hoping I didn't see anything personal because I had some medicine there. I didn't want to show that because I don't want to show anything personal.
Yeah, right. But there's a really good cocktail that I had during Halloween.
Speaking of cocktails, before you say that, I got to ask you this. Did you have pina colada or strawberry daiquiri? Those are the stuff I drank. I've drank cocktails when I was in Puerto Rico when I was 20. I was old enough to drink there because you had to be 18 and up. So I had cocktails and I had beer while I was in Puerto Rico. So yeah, I did have some cocktails there, and I have some once in a good while here now. But did you ever have those two?
I may have had a pina colada when I was a lot younger, but not in a long time. I'm talking about the kid-friendly version, obviously not the one with alcohol. But yeah, I've had
the one with alcohol for the first time in Puerto Rico. That's where they had the pina colada first, Puerto Rico. Yeah, and I've drank some beers like 2X's, Dos Equis, and some other Mexican beers and such like that. I've had Corona there too. So yeah.
And
So which cocktail was that you had on Halloween?
it's a shot. It's called the buttery nipple. Haven't you heard of it?
Oh, that name though.
Yeah. It's Bailey's Irish Cream mixed with
Oh,
butterscotch schnapps.
that sounds kind of good. I might, who knows, that might be something I could try. But here's the thing: I can only make the only cocktails I make. You just pour rum, you add pina colada mixer, or you pour rum, you pour strawberry mix or strawberry daiquiri mix, and I just put it in a blender. I make those pretty fucking easy.
Yeah. And there's also a fuzzy navel. I had that for my 22nd birthday. It's orange juice and peach schnapps.
Wow. Okay. So I could probably make my own orange juice and do the rest if I had that, because I know how to make orange juice with a juicer. So you just pour my homemade orange juice in a blender. And I could I could do that. That's what I mean.
Yeah. But I will say it has been definitely quite a major turn of events since the election. And, with the Christmas season, with Thanksgiving almost about to be consigned to the history books, we have another year of the Christmas season. Lots of jovial events.
I can't wait for January 20th. The good thing is no more Biden starting January 20th. No more Biden starting January. I should have posted that because I know people used to celebrate a few years ago saying no more Trump. Well, now I can finally post on my community post no more Biden starting January. So, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got to say, over the years, I've definitely lost faith in Biden. I really.
Oh yeah, he's just a bit old. Like, I know Trump is old too, but at least he's more coherent and cognitive compared to Biden.
Yeah, he had a brain fart. He was talking about the greatest president of Ukraine. He said President Putin by accident. And then
yeah, I remember that. He said Putin by accident. Speaking of a slip up, I remember one time, like, I saw this on Instagram that Harris called the Republic of South Korea the Republic of North Korea. Like, what? North Korea is not a republic; it's a dictatorship.
Yeah. South Korea is hell. Even South Korea could be 10 times more democratic than North Korea. The Democratic Republic of North Korea.
Yeah, when they meant to say republic, they meant South Korea, not North Korea. I think that's just an accidental mistake. That was just a slip up, I guess, on her part. So she can easily fix it, but not Biden, at least.
And another major thing. When Kamala Harris was on The View, she was asked, what would you have done differently than Biden? And she said that there's not a thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, there's also another interview. She said there was nothing she could change. So that just proves she had nothing on the table for the future.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's the same crap about Biden. It's like why would I want that? I mean, that's just like 4 more years of Biden, and none of us wanted. I didn't want 4 more years of Biden or Harris as president and not VP.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I'm pretty sure that Leon is even has been conservative, even when Biden won, or believes that Trump is definitely better than Biden.
Yeah, and good thing I'm cool with Leon now. I do have him as a moderator on my streams now. Well, at least we settle things with each other, which is good.
Yeah. But
I'm not going to be able to stream till my birthday. That's my next stream is on my birthday.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely wish you the best stream when your birthday does come. When you turn 22.
I wanted to hang out with somebody I'm cool with, like on my birthday at least, like somebody that I watch his streams every week. But I'm not able to go there because I don't have a car, and my mom's not going to let me drive all the way to that area. So I have to. So instead, I'm going to do a stream at my house and just watch this stream. Not going to say who because I'm not going to spoil any surprises I had.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I really don't know what else to talk about. It's almost about to become an hour.
Yep, an hour.
Yeah, usually when it comes to a stream, my goal is to get the stream up to at least an hour or so.
Well, we did that. We got just a minute left.
Yeah, but I really don't know what else to talk about. It was really great, like at least having someone to come into my stream, having for like the fact that I get to do a stream every so now and then, just so I have something to talk about. It's beyond me. But I managed to put this together. I managed to get at least one person who was in here to talk to me some things about how things have transpired since the election night, and we'll have to see how this goes on from here. I might.
This was basically a recap of November 2024, pretty much.
Yeah, but we'll see. Who knows how good or bad things will turn out in the
Let's hope
upcoming year.
things do good starting January 20th, right after the new year. I hope this new year goes really good, and hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving like all of us has if you're American. And and this holiday season is gonna be great. I hope everyone has a great Christmas.
Yeah, me too. All the Christmas flicks to get strung up on, like for example, Christmas Story, Elf, and
We're gonna watch all those movies: Elf, A Christmas Story. Hopefully, I watch Frosty the Snowman, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm talking about the cartoon, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah, those are like the old time Christmas classics. You know, Burl Ives being in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yep, his music. I remember hearing. I hear his songs on the radio. So yeah, when you think of Rudolph, you think of his music.
Do you know what I kind of found funny? This actually got the cogs and gears of my brain turning. What I've noticed is that Jimmy Durante and Nat King Cole have done Christmas songs before, and they've also performed the song called "Smile," both by Nat King Cole and Jimmy Durante. But what's funny is that I have not heard Burl Ives do a performance of the song "Smile." That's really something. How would Burl Ives been if he had done the song called "Smile," which was also sung by Jimmy Durante and Nat King Cole?
Yeah, two other Christmas singers. And speaking of Christmas music, other songs I like to listen to that are the Beatles guy Paul McCartney's song "Wonderful Christmas Time." That's a great song. I also like this other song "Blue Christmas" by Elvis. Like I do like a lot of songs by Elvis, although it's basically hit and miss with many people though, because he mostly did covers.
I will be honest with you. I do like Willie Nelson's version of the song "Frosty the Snowman."
Oh yeah, I've heard of the Willie Nelson version. I like classic country. I'm not the biggest fan of country music, but I do like classic country in certain songs.
Yeah. Well,
there's plenty of versions of Rudolph and Frosty that air on the radio on Christmas.
Yeah, or CBS. You know, if we're talking like the movie wise.
I've heard. Speaking of CBS, I don't know if this is entirely true. I got to research this up, but I've heard from someone called Abdullah Alhami that Frosty Returns is no longer going to air on CBS.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. It just seems like watered down. It just doesn't. Its style just doesn't seem like the kind that you might remember Frosty as.
The only problem I have with the CBS print or airing of the specials at the very beginning where they have the guy on the snowflake, he's not shown for some reason. It's just the background, and that's it at the very beginning. But on the DVD version, there's no problem with the show.
Right.
So I think if they do get rid of Frosty Returns, it's not a huge loss as long as they still have Frosty the Snowman, the original special.
Right. Well, I guess I have to get going like almost about any minute now. I have dinner downstairs waiting for me. It was really great talking to you, and we'll have to see how the year progresses as soon as we get on to 2025. See what events happen for the good and for the bad ever since election night, talking about our events and what we're going to be looking forward to for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And yeah, nice seeing you.
All right, and that'll be about it. I'm out. I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye. Just got to do my my little outro.